Hey, folks. Some more updates on the Bardic Gaming that I was talking about. I have received a ton of positive feedback regarding, this idea and everything behind it. So I can officially confirm that Ah, Bardic Gaming is a go. I've been working on it very, very hard last night, in the previous times, basically talking with my crew about, what we want to do for all of this, how we're setting all of this up. So, a couple things. First of all, I do appreciate all the kind words of support so far. A lot of people seem really enthusiastic to help. A lot of people really want to, try and get involved in the project the best they can, so I will bring that up in a bit. I can tell you now, though, that the project is underway with some different elements coming together. It's hard to really explain exactly what I'm doing right now, as I do want to try and keep some stuff secret to, throw it out to you guys as it happens. But I think you'll be really happy with what I've got so far, and I think you'll be really happy with where this project goes. As a keynote, I believe I brought it up in the last video, but I will be monetizing the novel part of this series, not the role-playing part. For those of you who kind of don't understand what the YouTube monetization is with ads and everything, basically what happens, at least what happened with me, was that my channel was offered up for monetization, that, I could put ads on my channel, on certain videos to make money. Um, you basically set it up per video. So my LPs really aren't up for any monetization because I don't have permission from the content holders, that is, the developers or producers of the game, to use their audiovisual content. It's still legal under fair use because I'm not making a profit off of them. This, however, is something a little bit different. I know I've before talked about that, I really didn't want to make money off of my LPs anyway. This is kind of different. Now, granted, all of this is still free to you. All it is going to be a little ad that pops up or something like that. But I've been really putting in several hours into this so far, and there'll be several more to go. So I will be monetizing these videos. Um, it will, yeah, as I said there, it'll basically be for the novel part, not the role playing part. This is mainly due to copyright laws. Um, it's kind of fuzzy what's allowed with copyright. I'll give you an example that Wizards, I have used a lot of their maps in the past, and that's perfectly fine and perfectly legal. They put the maps out there for you to use with their Map a Week program. However, if I used their maps to try and make money through commercialization, then you start to get into fuzzy areas because the map isn't the main commodity, the story and the role playing is, but you're still using their intellectual property, so it gets really shady in that area. And to be honest with you, I kind of just want to put my hands in the air right now and, not worry about that too much. The novel side of it, though, no one has any rights over except me. I'm doing all the writing for it, I'm doing all of the narration for it, everything like that. So all of that is still fair game for me to monetize on. And, I just figure with the amount of work that I'm putting into all of this, it would be nice to see, a couple bucks coming from it. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't take off, it doesn't take off, but, the option is there. A lot of people have sent me messages as to what they can do to help. Um, Basically just any way that they can. One of the big things that I got from people was proofreaders, that they would love to take a look at this. For right now, I want to decline any proofreaders. The main reason for this is I'm trying to keep it internal as I set up a style and a flow that I think you'll see, especially at the end of this video, I'll be kind of putting in a little demonstration of what I'm talking about. It doesn't read well as it sounds, if that makes sense. A story that's told doesn't always work as well, when it's on paper and you're reading it in your head. And the whole point behind this Bardic Gaming was that I would be narrating it and, putting my own insights into it, my own inflections, as I said before in another video. And so, what is grammatically incorrect in a paper or an essay or a book is grammatically acceptable in speech. You'll kind of see what I mean when I talk, through those things. But what do we need? The big thing we need is art. maps, character interpretations, things that you think might fit the story. I know that's really, really difficult right now because you know nothing about the story and you know nothing about any of the characters. This is more for future as that stuff comes out. Any concept art that you come up with or anything that you think, the characters might look like, please feel free to send those emails, with links or with, things like that to togoff@yahoo.com. And I'll take a look at them. I can't promise that whatever you send will be featured or will be used, but, I can promise that I will take a look at it. Um, Basically what I was thinking for the kind of narration part, it might be somewhat boring just to hear me narrate, but I think it would be kind of cool to show up different concept art of things that people came up with. So, if someone drew a really, really awesome picture of one of the characters, maybe when I'm given some talk about them or some background on them, that picture comes up. Again, though, as I said, I am monetizing those novel reading videos, meaning that, I can't split that money with you. I would be more than happy to, feature your work, to give you credit for it, to, give you a shout out in the description there as to what that was. But, I will need permission from you that I can use this image or whatever you send commercially. That's a really, really big step that YouTube looks for, is permission to use commercially. Um, there's some things that, fair use only goes so far, and I really do want to try and play ethical and try and play by the rules on it. Would Wizards of the Coast shut me down if I used one of their maps? Probably not, but still, I do want to try and be ethical behind it. What's kind of neat with some of the map stuff is, let's say you draw, a really cool tomb that you think might be useful. Or let's say you draw up some forest encounter or something like that that could be useful. It might end up getting featured in one of our map tool adventures. So you might get to see your work there, and I might throw that up during the novel reading part. I can't say for sure I will or not. Maybe some music that you write that you think would be kind of neat background music behind. Whatever you think you can come up with. If you have any questions on that, feel free to message me. I've been pretty good about getting back to people on things like that. But I think this could be a really neat thing too for community members to kind of come out and show off their works a little bit. I'm always happy to see the works that other people are doing. As in my forums now that there's a section for that that's actually gotten some attention to some people who've done, some neat things. So regardless, the big thing though is I will need to make sure that I have somewhere from you that I have permission to use this, that I can back up to YouTube. When you go to monetize any visual or audio content that you don't own, you need to somehow cite that you have permission to use it. That's what I would need. Finally, what I was talking about there is meeting the PCs here. Um, this is basically going to be the first introduction start of the series where you'll get to meet the characters that my crew has come up with. I kind of explained before a little bit, but I'll go into a little bit more detail. Basically, Sinovera, Taitnaku, Ipones, Babakis came to me with what their character looks like and a backstory. What I did was I took their work and kind of transformed it and made it so that it would read a little bit better into the style that I was going for, sent it back to them, they gave me the green light on it, and I'm ready to go with it. I'm still kind of working and editing on some of them. As I said, I want to put out a good quality product for you all, but I don't want to get too much into it because it's not a novel. It's a bardic tale. So basically imagine this, and I wish so badly I had the narrator's voice from Bastion. It would be so perfect, but I don't. I only have my own. Um, Still, though, I think it'll do. And try to imagine it as a story being told, even as something as simple as tense. I wanted to make sure that things were in the past tense. This is a bard telling a story of these characters, introducing you to who these characters are, and a little bit about them before the adventure begins. So, without further ado, we will meet Sinovera's character, Kisonia. Is it Kisona? Oh my god, I forgot her character name. Kisona! Kisona De Marcel. Enjoy. Kisona De Marcel was a lovely lass around the young age of 26. While many a gentleman found themselves mesmerized by her raven locks, her intense emerald eyes could enchant nearly anyone locked in her gaze. She was quiet, but always watching and always listening. Kisona was the type that could hear a conversation across a noisy tavern without giving away any obvious tells of eavesdropping, while processing every word said with crystal clarity. She was not always easy to be around, though. Kisona preferred the company of herself more to anyone else. Those that tried to strike up a friendly conversation were normally met with impatient sighs and eye rolls. And as far as moral compasses go, hers was at the bottom of the sea. Kisona would do whatever she needed to get what she wanted. If being nice or good would lead to her ultimate goals, she would happily adopt that facade. Kisona's life was ultimately about serving Kisona, and to the hells with those that got in her way. Kisona never knew her parents, and any memories of her childhood were rather fuzzy. She grew up in a small band of thieves who made a living pickpocketing. Lisa was the only one who really took care of her, and all Kisona knew of her was that she had been a friend of her mother's. Lisa, however, did not love her. Likely the only reason Lisa even took care of her was due to a personal debt she owed Kisona's mother. Although Kisona never discovered the details behind that debt, she often wondered about the relationship between the two. Lisa would never give any straight answers when Kisona asked of her mother, though. Shortly after Kisona's 13th birthday, the War of the Thieves broke out. A group of crime lords decided to take the city over and eradicate all others in their new territory. From big-time dealers to small bandits, like Kisona's group, none were spared from their wrath. Lisa and the others all perished in the conflict. Kisona, miraculously, was spared, though. She thought she had hated Lisa, but seeing her adoptive mother lifeless in a cold alley sent her into a blood fury she had never experienced before. She ruthlessly took the lives of several assailants, moving with unparalleled grace and dexterity before finally being subdued by an unending army of thugs and mercenaries. The leader of the gang witnessed her performance and decided to spare her life. He was so impressed, in fact, he chose to take her on as a protege. At first, she felt like a prisoner. She was reluctant to obey any instruction and defied him at every opportunity. Slowly, over time though, she accepted her fate and became one of them. Years later, her group became infamous throughout the region for human trafficking. Their days of wealth and prosperity were numbered, however. A new thieves' guild, the Darkened Mask, infiltrated Kisona and her guild members, stealing valuable information and secrets. The mole was discovered too late. Intelligence reports swarmed in with law enforcement and Darkened Mask members forming a pinning ambush around them. Knowing that the only chance of survival would be to fight off insurmountable odds, the group quickly came to arms. All except Kisona, that is. During the chaos of organizing and arming the group, she managed to slip out undetected and set off quickly to escape the fate of her former allies. Escaping the ambush and attempting to get as far away as possible, she secured passage with a caravan headed to the frozen lands. The story of Kisona De Marcel was not yet completed.